Are you truly living the life you want, or are you simply repeating the same version of yourself day after day? Do you wake up with the same habits, the same fears, and the same excuses that keep you stuck? Many people believe that real change takes years, but the truth is that transformation can begin in just 1 week. 7 days of discipline, focus, and decisive action can completely shift the direction of your life. Picture this clearly. 1 week from now, you could look at yourself and see a version that feels new, stronger, clearer, more committed. The people around you would be surprised at the speed of your growth. Doubts would disappear, replaced by respect for the results you created in such a short time, and it all starts with the decision you make today. Welcome to Fluent English with Redio. This is more than a space to practice English. It is a place to develop both your language and your mindset. Here, you will find lessons that improve your communication, along with knowledge and motivation to help you grow into your best self. Today, we are going to explore a principle that can completely reshape how you see yourself and your potential. We will show you how to begin a powerful transformation in just 7 days. At first, this may sound impossible. You might think that lasting change requires months or even years. You might believe that transformation has to be slow and steady. But the truth is different. The greatest changes happen when you commit fully, when you decide to stop waiting and start acting. Most people never change because they never truly commit. They try a little here and there, but they never cut ties with their excuses or break free from their old patterns. Transformation asks for something deeper. It asks you to make a choice that has no way back, a choice strong enough to silence fear and break through every comfortable habit that has been holding you down. And now, as you listen, you have 2 choices. You can continue living on repeat, watching each day blur into the next, or you can decide that today is the day when everything shifts. Today can be the beginning of your 7 days of focused action. Today can be the start of the life you truly want. Why you cannot change yourself. Before we dive into the transformation process, we need to understand why millions of people live ordinary lives without discipline or clear goals, leading to deep dissatisfaction. Many people reach the end of their lives with profound regret, knowing they never gave their best effort to make their dreams come true. This isn't because they lacked ability or potential, it's because they fell into patterns that guaranteed mediocrity. The main reason people stay stuck is that they become prisoners of their own habits. Bad habits, negative thinking, and fear of challenges create an invisible cage. These factors combine to make people choose temporary comfort over long-term happiness. They avoid important decisions and postpone future growth goals. The tragedy is that most people don't realize that change doesn't require years of struggle. Real transformation happens when you make one strong decision, back it up with consistent action, and maintain unwavering determination. The problem isn't that change is hard. The problem is that most people never fully commit to the process. Think about your current life. How many times have you said you would start tomorrow? How many times have you made promises to yourself that you didn't keep? How many opportunities have you let slip because you weren't ready, weren't confident enough, or weren't disciplined enough to seize them? The comfortable patterns in your life feel safe, but they're actually the most dangerous thing you face. Comfort is the enemy of growth. When you stay in your comfort zone, you don't just stay the same, you actually get worse. Your confidence shrinks, your skills deteriorate, your dreams fade. Meanwhile, life keeps moving forward and opportunities keep passing you by. But here's what changes everything. When you understand that transformation can happen in just 1 week, suddenly all your excuses disappear. You can't say you don't have time. You can't say it's too hard. 7 days is nothing. Everyone has 7 days. The question is whether you have the courage to use them wisely. Step 1. Decide to leave your old self and remove bad habits. The first step in your transformation is the most critical, and it's the step most people skip. You must make a clear, definitive decision to leave your old self behind. This isn't about improvement or gradual change. This is about death and rebirth. The old you, with all your limitations, excuses, and bad habits, must die so the new you can be born. Bad habits and negative thoughts are the biggest barriers to your progress. They are actively working against every good intention you have. Every minute you spend in a bad habit is a minute stolen from your potential. Every negative thought is a brick in the wall that separates you from your dreams. To break free, you must face yourself with complete honesty. This means looking at your life without filters, without excuses, and without the comfortable lies you tell yourself. You need to identify exactly what's holding you back and then remove these obstacles with surgical precision. Begin by writing down every single habit that is not serving your growth. Be specific. Include obvious ones such as procrastination, wasting hours on social media, eating poorly, or neglecting exercise. Then go deeper and add the hidden habits that quietly shape your life, like negative self-talk, making excuses, avoiding difficult conversations, or settling for work that does not reflect your full potential. Once you have your list, do not let it sit. Take immediate action. Create space between yourself and negative influences. Let the people in your life know that you need time and focus for your growth. Remove physical reminders of the old version of yourself. Throw away the items that tie you to your past patterns. Cleanse your environment so it reflects the person you want to become, not the person you are leaving behind. There is a powerful ritual that can help you mark this moment clearly. Write a farewell letter to your old self. Thank this old version of you for the lessons it has given, but make it clear that it no longer has a place in your life. When you finish the letter, burn it. As the smoke rises, watch it carry away the excuses, the doubts, and the limitations that once held you back. This is not just a symbol, it is a declaration of freedom and a commitment to the path ahead. When you finish the letter, burn it. Watch the smoke carry away everything that has held you back. This isn't just symbolic. This is a real declaration of independence from everything that has kept you small. To make this change real, choose one major bad habit and eliminate it immediately. This single action will send a strong signal to your subconscious mind that you are serious. It is a dramatic break from the past, a line you will not cross again. By doing this, you begin to strengthen your discipline, which is the muscle you will need to continue growing. The first day of this new life will not be easy. Your mind will try to pull you back into old patterns. Your body will crave the comfort of the routines you left behind. But do not mistake this discomfort as failure. Discomfort is proof that you are on the right path. It is the sign that you are stretching beyond the limits of your old self. Every moment of resistance is evidence that you are moving closer to your transformation. Step 2. Improve your health and train with clear goals. Your body is the foundation of everything you want to achieve in life. A strong body gives you energy, focus, and resilience. With that strength, you can face challenges with clarity, make difficult decisions with confidence, and take consistent action even when it feels hard. But when your body is weak, the opposite happens. You feel tired, your mind becomes cloudy, and your discipline begins to collapse under pressure. That is why caring for your health is not just about looking good or avoiding sickness. It is the cornerstone of willpower and discipline in every other area of your life. A strong body builds a strong mind, and a strong mind creates a strong life. Starting today, you must treat your body as if your life depends on it, because it truly does. Commit to exercising every day in a way that challenges you. This could be lifting weights, running, swimming, cycling, or using your own body weight for push-ups, squats, and other intense exercises. The specific activity matters less than the intensity. The key is to push beyond your current limits so your body and mind both grow stronger. Nutrition is just as important as training. The food you eat is either fuel for growth or poison that drags you backward. If you want to transform, you must leave behind processed foods, sugary snacks, and empty calories. Choose foods that serve your goals: fresh vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates. Drink water instead of sugary drinks. Eat with intention. Eat to live, not live to eat. When you combine training and proper nutrition with clear goals, you begin to feel a new kind of strength inside you. Each workout completed, each healthy meal chosen, each step of progress tracked builds momentum. This momentum fuels not only your physical transformation, but also your confidence and motivation in other areas of life. Achieving your training goals gives you proof that discipline works, and that proof inspires you to apply the same mindset everywhere else. One powerful example of this principle is David Goggins. He began as an overweight, depressed young man, but he made a decision to become unbreakable. He refused to let excuses define him. Through relentless training and discipline, he transformed himself into one of the world's toughest endurance athletes. His story reminds us of something vital. Your body will resist change, and your mind will resist discipline. But if you persist through deliberate and sustained effort, both body and mind will eventually submit to your will. Each time you do what your body resists, you grow stronger, and that strength creates unshakable confidence. To make this transformation practical, start with a simple but powerful exercise. Take a picture of yourself today and then commit to taking another one every day for the next week. When you feel tired or tempted to give up, look back at the pictures and see the proof of your progress. This will remind you that change is happening, even on days when your mind tries to convince you otherwise. Tracking your progress is critical because the mind often tells lies. It will try to make you believe that nothing is changing, even when it is, but clear evidence silences doubt. Each small improvement captured in your photos shows that your effort is working. That proof becomes fuel for motivation, reminding you of why you started and why you must keep going. There will be moments when you feel discouraged, when your old habits call you back, or when you slip and make mistakes. This is normal. Do not let these moments break your momentum. Instead, learn from them. If you miss a workout, ask yourself what triggered the failure. If you eat something unhealthy, reflect on what emotion or situation led to that choice. Then adjust, correct, and return to the path immediately. Transformation is not about perfection. It is about resilience, the ability to fall and rise again quickly. To make the process more sustainable, reward yourself for progress, even small wins. Rewards remind your brain that discipline feels good. But choose rewards that support your transformation, not ones that undermine it. Do not celebrate a week of clean eating with junk food. Instead, buy yourself new workout clothes, take a relaxing bath, or spend time on a hobby you love. These kinds of rewards create a positive cycle where discipline becomes something you look forward to, not something you dread. When you strengthen your body, you strengthen your mind. When you strengthen your mind, you strengthen your life. This is why caring for your health is the second step in transformation. It is not a side task. It is the foundation on which all other success is built. Step 3. Improve your mindset and change the way you think. The quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your life. Negative thoughts don't just make you feel bad, they actually destroy your ability to see opportunities, create solutions, and take effective action. They drain your energy, lower your confidence, and damage your relationships. Positive thinking, on the other hand, opens doors, attracts resources, and gives you the mental strength to persist through challenges. Starting today, you need to protect your own mind. This means noticing the thoughts that pass through your head during the day. Most people never do this. They let their minds run on autopilot and accept any thought that comes up, but mindful people choose to guide and control their mental space. Begin by replacing limiting beliefs with empowering ones. Instead of, "I can't do this," say, "I'm learning how to do this." Instead of, "This is too hard," say, "This is helping me grow stronger." Instead of, "I'm not good enough," say, "I'm becoming better every day." These aren't just positive affirmations. They're training your brain to look for possibilities instead of limitations. Accept challenges as opportunities for growth. Most people try to avoid difficulty, but difficulty is where transformation happens. Easy doesn't change you. Comfort doesn't develop you. Only by facing and overcoming challenges do you discover what you're truly capable of achieving. Problems are a natural part of life, and sooner or later they will show up. When they do, the most important thing is how you respond. Many people waste time and energy by complaining about their situation or blaming other people, but these habits do not make anything better. Complaining drains your energy, and blaming others takes away your ability to create change. A better choice is to use that same energy to think about solutions. Ask yourself, what can I do right now to make this better? Or what small step can I take today to move forward? This way of thinking puts you back in control of your life. It helps you grow stronger, stay positive, and keep moving toward your goals. Practice gratitude every day because gratitude is the foundation for a positive life. It is not only about celebrating big achievements like getting a promotion or buying a house, but also about appreciating the small things we often overlook. Be thankful for your health, for the food you eat, for the people who love you, and even for the challenges that push you to grow stronger. When you choose to focus on what you already have instead of what is missing, you create inner peace, develop resilience in difficult times, and naturally become more pleasant and attractive to others. Just as gratitude strengthens your inner world, the people around you shape your outer world. The truth is, who you spend your time with has a massive influence on your thoughts, your energy, and your behavior. If you constantly surround yourself with negative, complaining, or unmotivated people, their energy will slowly drag you down. On the other hand, if you spend time with positive, ambitious, and supportive people, their energy will lift you higher and remind you that growth is possible. Of course, this often means making some hard choices. You may need to limit your time with those who do not support your transformation, even if they are people you care about. At the same time, you may need to look for new friends, mentors, or communities that inspire you to keep improving. While these changes can feel uncomfortable, they are essential if you truly want to create a better future for yourself. In addition to people, pay close attention to what you feed your mind. What you read, watch, and listen to is just as important as what you eat and drink. Choose to read books, listen to podcasts, or watch videos that are positive, educational, and growth-oriented. By doing this, you create a mental environment that supports your goals. And to tie it all together, build daily practices that keep you on track. Each morning, prepare your mind for success through meditation, affirmations, visualization, or by reading something uplifting. Each night, take a moment to reflect on your progress, appreciate what went well, and set clear intentions for the next day. Over time, these small actions connect to form powerful habits that rewire your thinking, strengthen your mindset, and lead you step by step toward real transformation. Step 4. Build confidence and learn to say no. Confidence is not something you are born with. It is something you build step by step through your actions and the boundaries you set for yourself. The way you present yourself shapes how others see and treat you, but more importantly, it shapes how you see and treat yourself. One of the simplest but most powerful signs of confidence is eye contact. When you look people in the eye, you send a clear message of strength, honesty, and self-respect. When you avoid eye contact, you send the opposite message of insecurity and weakness. That is why it is so important to practice making eye contact that feels strong but comfortable. This small change can dramatically improve the way people see you and how they respond to you. Listening is another overlooked part of confidence. Most people are too busy planning what they want to say next, and they miss the chance to really hear what the other person is saying. But when you listen with full attention, you show respect and build a genuine connection. People feel valued, and that draws them closer to you. Your body language also speaks louder than your words. Standing tall with your shoulders back, walking with purpose, speaking clearly, and taking up the right amount of space all show confidence. And here is the secret. These physical actions do not just make you look confident to others, they actually make you feel more confident inside. But true confidence goes deeper than appearance. Real confidence comes from knowing when to say no. If you cannot say no, you have no boundaries. Without boundaries, you have no self-respect. And without self-respect, confidence cannot exist. Every time you say yes to something that does not match your goals or values, you are saying no to yourself. That is why learning to say no is one of the most important skills you can build. Warren Buffett is one of the most successful investors in the world. He says no to investments that do not fit his strategy, no to events that do not matter to his priorities, and no to distractions that would take him away from long-term goals. His focus and discipline show how powerful clear boundaries can be. You can apply the same lesson in your own life. Decide what you will accept and what you will not. Set standards for how you spend your time, who you spend it with, and what opportunities you take. When something does not meet your standards, learn to say no politely but firmly. Start small. Say no to social media when you should be working. Say no to junk food when you want to fuel your body with something healthy. Say no to gossip or negativity when you should be focusing on solutions. Each small no builds your strength for bigger decisions. And always remember this truth. Saying no to others is actually saying yes to yourself. It is saying yes to your values, yes to your goals, and yes to your future. Some people may not like your boundaries, but they will respect them. More importantly, you will respect yourself, and that is where real confidence begins. Step 5. Keep acting and overcome. Fear. Fear and procrastination are two powerful forces that work together to stop transformation. They are like twin enemies. Fear tells you stories in your head that you might fail, that people will laugh at you, that you are not ready yet. Procrastination agrees with fear and whispers, "Not today. Do it tomorrow. Do it when you have more time, more money, or when the situation is perfect." This is how people stay stuck in the same place for years, never moving closer to the life they want. But there is one truth that changes everything. Action is the antidote to fear. You cannot think your way out of fear, and you cannot wait for fear to disappear. Fear only loses its grip when you act despite feeling afraid. Each time you take action in the middle of fear, you build courage. With each new act of courage, you become stronger, more capable, and more prepared to face even bigger challenges. Fear never completely disappears, especially if you are growing, learning, and stepping outside your comfort zone. But the good news is that fear can change its role. Instead of being a wall that blocks you, it can become a sign that you are about to do something important. To deal with fear, start by naming it clearly. Ask yourself, what exactly am I afraid of? Is it failure? Is it success and the pressure that comes with it? Is it the judgment of other people? Is it the fear of not being good enough? When you write your fears down, they stop being a vague cloud hanging over you. They become specific problems that you can face. A named fear is something you can study, prepare for, and overcome. If your fear feels too big to face directly, break it into smaller pieces. Small fears are easier to face, and once you face them, you start to build momentum. Taking one small action quickly and consistently leads to more actions. It is like pushing a heavy wheel. The hardest part is the first push. But once it starts rolling, it becomes easier to keep it moving. In the same way, when you take daily actions, they slowly become habits, and habits carry you forward without needing as much effort. Every small victory over fear builds your confidence. Each time you prove to yourself that you can handle a fear, you collect evidence that you are stronger than you thought. This evidence creates an upward spiral. The more you act, the more confident you feel, and the more confident you feel, the bigger the actions you are able to take. The most important lesson is this: act before you feel ready. Readiness is not something you feel before action. It is something you create through action. By doing the thing you are afraid of, you become ready. Most people misunderstand this. They think confidence comes first and action comes second. They think motivation comes first and discipline comes later. But in reality, it works the other way around. Action comes first and feelings follow. Confidence grows after you act. Readiness grows after you begin. Motivation grows after you stay consistent. So start today, right where you are, with whatever you have. Do not wait for perfect conditions because they do not exist. Do not wait for more time, more money, or more knowledge. Successful people do not have better circumstances. They simply take different actions with the circumstances they already have, and that is why their lives change. Step 6.
Build habits and manage time.
Success does not come from a single lucky moment or sudden burst of inspiration. It grows slowly, like a tree, through the habits you practice every day. What you repeat becomes who you are, and over time, those repeated actions shape your future. Your habits are the foundation of your destiny. If you look closely at someone's daily routines, from what they do in the morning to how they spend their evenings, you can already see where they are heading. Habits that support your goals push you forward, while careless habits quietly hold you back. Because habits are built in time, you must learn to treat time as your most valuable resource. Everyone receives the same 24 hours, yet the outcomes are very different. The reason is not that some people have more hours, but that they use their hours with greater purpose. Successful people value every moment and invest their time carefully, just as they would invest money. Clarity is the first step in using time wisely. Vague goals lead to vague actions. Specific goals lead to specific results. Saying "I want to be healthier" leaves you without direction, while saying "I will exercise for 30 minutes every morning" creates focus. Clear goals naturally guide your daily steps. Once you know your goals, you need a plan. A goal without a plan is only a wish. A strong plan breaks down big ambitions into small, consistent steps and prepares you for possible challenges. With a plan, you do not waste time wondering what to do next. You simply follow the path you designed. When acting on your plan, you must learn to separate what is urgent from what is important. Many people stay busy by reacting to every urgent demand, yet they neglect the tasks that create long-term growth. Real productivity comes from focusing on what truly matters, not just what demands immediate attention. Focus itself is a powerful habit. Multitasking feels efficient, but usually weakens both speed and quality. Concentrating on one task at a time allows you to complete it faster and at a higher level of quality. This focus then frees time and energy for other priorities. Your environment also plays a crucial role. If your surroundings make bad choices easy, willpower will quickly run out. If your surroundings make good choices easy, success feels natural. Keeping healthy food within reach, placing books where you can see them, and limiting distractions are ways to design an environment that supports your goals. At the heart of progress lies discipline. Discipline is not something you are born with. It is a muscle you develop through practice. Each time you keep a promise to yourself, even when you do not feel like it, you make that muscle stronger. Small acts of discipline prepare you for greater challenges and build self-trust. Rest is another essential part of growth. Without recovery, energy fades and decisions become weaker. With proper rest, your focus sharpens, your choices improve, and your performance lasts longer. Rest is not wasted time. It is the foundation that makes productivity sustainable. To stay consistent, you can use proven methods such as working in short, focused intervals with regular breaks or dividing your time by levels of priority. These structures prevent distraction and ensure your energy goes to the most valuable tasks. In the end, consistency matters more than intensity. Success rarely comes from rare moments of effort. It comes from small steps repeated every day. 20 minutes of progress daily will do more for your life than one intense effort once in a while. Over weeks, months, and years, these small actions compound into extraordinary results. Protect your habits, value your time, strengthen your discipline, and shape your environment. Do this, and success becomes not a matter of chance, but a matter of choice. Step 7. Maintain discipline. Creating change in your life is already a great challenge, but keeping that change alive is often even harder. At first, motivation is high and energy feels endless. But with time, old patterns quietly return. Habits you thought you left behind will try to pull you back. Your environment may tempt you with familiar comforts. Even your own mind will whisper that you have already done enough and that it is safe to relax. This is the trap where many people lose their progress. This is why discipline is not only for the beginning of transformation. Discipline is the anchor that holds your new identity steady. Without it, progress will slowly slip away. You might not notice it at first, but little by little, old habits, old thoughts, and old results will creep back into your life. Discipline is the force that protects your growth and makes change permanent. Think of discipline like a muscle. Every time you use it, it becomes stronger. Every time you neglect it, it grows weaker. Just as you would not expect physical strength to last without regular training, you cannot expect mental strength to last without daily practice. Consistent discipline builds long-term resilience in every area of life. One way to keep discipline sharp is through regular review. Set aside time each week to reflect honestly on your progress. Ask yourself questions. What worked well this week? Where did I lose focus? What obstacles slowed me down? These check-ins help you catch problems early before they grow too big, and they remind you of the progress you are making. As you review, remember that growth has no finish line. Achieving a goal is not the end. It is simply the foundation for the next goal. Once you succeed at one level, set a new challenge that stretches you further. If you stop setting goals, you lose momentum. But if you always have something meaningful to pursue, you keep your energy and discipline alive. Daily discipline also means keeping promises to yourself, even when nobody is watching. It can help to create a personal declaration that defines who you are. This declaration becomes a guide and a reminder of the standards you live by. Read your declaration often until it becomes a natural part of your identity. It will remind you, in moments of weakness, of the person you have chosen to become. Of course, maintaining discipline is not about being perfect. There will be days when you slip back into old patterns. There will be moments when you give in to distraction or lose focus. This is normal and should not discourage you. What matters is that you rise quickly after each fall. The faster you return to your path, the less power a setback has over your future. Do not allow temporary mistakes to become permanent failures. One bad day does not erase a week of progress. One difficult week does not destroy a month of effort. Success is not measured in single days or single moments, but in the overall direction of your life across months and years. If the long-term path is upward, short-term dips do not matter. Maintaining change requires patience, discipline, and resilience. It means recommitting to your transformation again and again, even when the initial excitement has faded. If you can do this, discipline becomes your greatest ally. It turns change from a temporary event into a permanent lifestyle. Become unrecognizable in 1 week. You already have the knowledge and the strategies to transform yourself completely in just 7 days. But knowledge without action means nothing. The real decision is yours. You can leave here and fall back into old patterns, or you can choose this moment as the turning point of your life. Every day you wait, your dreams drift further away. Time moves forward whether you act or not. The only difference between those who change and those who stay the same is commitment. You do not need more resources. You need more discipline, more courage, and more action. Your transformation will not only change you, but also inspire others. But before you can inspire anyone else, you must first inspire yourself. That journey begins today. 1 week from now, you could look back and say, "That was the day everything changed." You could look in the mirror and see someone stronger, clearer, and more determined. All it takes is the courage to begin right now. If this message has moved you to take action, support us by giving this video a thumbs up and subscribing to Fluent English with Riadio. Our mission is not only to help you improve your English, but also to give you the confidence, discipline, and mindset to transform your entire life. Hit the notification bell so you never miss our newest lessons and strategies for growth. And remember, You are never walking this path alone. At Fluent English with Radio, we are here to grow with you step by step. We will remind you of your strength when you forget, celebrate your progress as you move forward, and guide you through the challenges that appear along the way. We are honored to be part of your transformation. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep becoming the person you were always meant to be. Are you tired of feeling stuck? Every morning you wake up with big dreams, but every night you go to bed with the same problems. You tell yourself, tomorrow will be different, but tomorrow looks exactly like today. You're not lazy, you're not broken, you're just missing one simple truth that successful people discovered long ago. Today, I'm going to share that secret with you. What if I told you that just 60 minutes a day could completely change your life? Not 5 hours, not 10 hours, just one single hour. Most people think change requires massive effort, perfect timing, or special talent. That's a lie. Real change starts with 1 hour of focused action every day. The problem isn't that you don't have enough time. The problem is that you don't know how to use the time you have. Welcome to Fluent English with Radio, where the painful reality is this: no one owes you anything. Not success, not recognition, not even a chance. Into winners. The power of 1 hour every day. Let me start with a hard truth. Most people fail not because they lack talent, but because they waste time. They spend hours scrolling through their phones, watching meaningless videos, and complaining about their problems. But they won't spend 1 hour working on their solutions. 1 hour equals 4% of your day, just 4%. You probably spend more time than that waiting in traffic or standing in line. Yet this 1 hour, when used correctly, has more power than the other 23 hours combined. Here's why 1 hour matters so much. It's not about the time itself, it's about what that time represents. It represents your commitment to yourself. It represents your belief in your future. It represents your decision to stop being a victim of circumstances and start being the creator of your life. Think about successful people you admire. What do they all have in common? They understand that success is built 1 day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 decision at a time. They don't wait for big breaks or perfect conditions. They create progress through consistent daily action. Warren Buffett reads for 5 to 6 hours every day. Bill Gates reads 50 books per year. Oprah meditates every morning. What do they know that you don't? They know that daily habits determine destiny. They know that small, consistent actions compound into extraordinary results. But here's what they also know that most people miss. You don't need 5 hours like Warren Buffett. You don't need to read 50 books like Bill Gates. You just need to commit to 1 focused hour of growth every single day. 1 hour of reading equals 365 hours per year. That's like attending college for 15 weeks straight, focused entirely on your goals. 1 hour of practicing a skill every day will make you better than 95% of people in that area within just 2 years. The math is simple, but the impact is life-changing. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in a year. 1 hour seems small, but it's actually massive when you multiply it by 365 days. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop waiting for miracles. Start with 1 hour. That's your foundation. That's your beginning. That's your path to the life you actually want. Take control of your first hour. Here's the most important decision you'll make today. What happens in your first hour after you wake up? Most people give this precious time away without even thinking about it. They grab their phone, check messages, scroll social media, and let other people's priorities become their first priority. Big mistake, huge mistake. Life-changing mistake. How you start your day determines how you live your life. This isn't just motivation talk. This is brain science. Your mind is most clear, most focused, and most capable in the first hour. Your willpower is at its peak. Your ability to concentrate is at its strongest. And what do most people do with this golden hour? They waste it. Let me paint you a picture. You wake up and immediately reach for your phone. Within minutes, you're reading about problems you can't solve, drama you don't need, and other people's highlight reels that make you feel worse about your own life. Your brain, which was fresh and ready for growth, is now filled with noise, negativity, and distraction. By the time you're actually ready to start your day, your mental energy is already depleted. Your focus is scattered. Your mood is affected by things that have nothing to do with your goals or your life. You've handed control of your mind to algorithms, advertisers, and people who don't even know you exist. Here's what successful people do differently. They protect their first hour like it's made of gold, because it is. They use this time to program their minds for success instead of letting the world program them for mediocrity. Instead of checking what everyone else is doing, they check in with themselves. Instead of consuming other people's content, they create their own clarity. Instead of reacting to the world, they design their day. Your first hour should be sacred. No phone, no social media, no news, no distractions, just you, your goals, and your growth. Use this time to read something that expands your mind. Write down your priorities for the day. Visualize your success. Plan your actions. Move your body. Feed your soul. When you control your first hour, something powerful happens. You start your day as the director of your life, not just an actor in someone else's story. You become proactive instead of reactive. You set the tone instead of letting the world set it for you. I know what you're thinking. I'm not a morning person. Listen, success doesn't care about your preferences. Champions aren't born ready. They make themselves ready. They train their habits. They build their discipline. And so can you. Starting tomorrow, make a deal with yourself. Before you give your attention to the outside world, give it to your inner world. Before you check on everyone else's life, check on your own. Before you consume content, create progress. The first hour is when you're strongest mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Don't waste this gift on activities that drain you. Use it for activities that grow you. Because when you win the morning, you win the day. And when you win enough days, you win your life. Plan before you act. Most people fail because they confuse being busy with being productive. They work hard, but they don't work smart. They have energy, but they don't have direction. They take action, but they take the wrong action. Before you spend your precious hour doing anything, you need to answer one crucial question. Where are you going? If you don't know where you're headed, any road will take you there. And any road usually leads to nowhere important. Direction is everything. It's the difference between spinning your wheels and moving forward. It's the difference between feeling busy and feeling accomplished. It's the difference between working hard and getting results. Here's what most people do wrong. They jump into action without intention. They start doing things without deciding what needs to be done. They work without working toward anything specific. This is like trying to hit a target in the dark. You might get lucky, but you'll probably miss. Successful people do the opposite. They aim before they fire. They plan before they act. They get clear on their destination before they start their journey. Before your hour begins, take just 3 minutes to get crystal clear on your purpose. Ask yourself these questions. What specific skill am I building today? What exact problem am I solving? What measurable progress will I make? Why does this matter for my future? Write down your answers. Don't keep them in your head. Get them on paper. When you write something down, you make a contract with yourself. You transform a vague idea into a specific commitment. Let me tell you about the power of why. Your why is your fuel. When you know why you're doing something, how to do it becomes much clearer. When your why is strong enough, you'll find a way. When your why is weak, you'll find excuses. For example, don't just say, "I want to read more." That's too vague. Instead, say, "I'm reading 30 minutes every day to improve my communication skills because better communication will help me advance in my career and build stronger relationships." Now you have direction. Now you have purpose. Now you have power. Your brain loves specific targets. Give it one. Instead of saying, "I want to get better at writing," say, "I'm writing 500 words every day to improve my storytelling ability because great storytellers influence people and change lives." Instead of saying, "I want to learn about business," say, "I'm studying marketing for 45 minutes daily because understanding marketing will help me grow my side business to $5,000 per month." See the difference? The first examples are wishes. The second examples are plans. Wishes hope for results. Plans create results. Here's another critical point. Focus on one thing at a time. Your brain can't excel when it's scattered across multiple priorities. Pick one main skill, one main area, one main goal for your daily hour. Master that before you move to something else. Remember, clarity on paper becomes focus in action. When you know exactly what you're working toward and why it matters, every minute of your hour becomes powerful. Every action becomes purposeful. Every effort moves you closer to success. Direction turns your hour from random activity into targeted progress, and targeted progress is what separates achievers from everyone else. Protect your hour like treasure. Now that you've claimed your hour and know how to use it, here comes the hardest part, protecting it, because the world will try to steal it from you. Not with force, but with 1,000 small distractions. Your phone will buzz. Someone will want just 5 minutes. An urgent email will arrive. A family member will need something. A friend will call with drama. And before you know it, your growth hour is gone. Trade it away for other people's priorities. You have to understand fundamental. That hour is not free time. It's not flexible time. It's not time you can afford to lose. It's the most valuable hour of your day because it's the hour that builds your future. Think of it this way. If someone tried to steal $100 from you, would you let them? Of course not. Well, that hour is worth more than $100. It's worth your dreams, your goals, your potential, your future success. Don't let anyone steal it. Here's what you need to do. Set boundaries, real boundaries, not suggestions, not flexible guidelines, hard boundaries that you enforce consistently. Tell your family, from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., I'm unavailable unless there's an emergency. This is my growth time. Tell your friends, I don't take calls or texts during my morning hour. I'll get back to you after. Tell your coworkers, I start checking emails at 8 a.m., not before. Some people won't like this. They'll call you selfish. They'll say you're being antisocial. They'll try to make you feel guilty. Don't fall for it. People who don't invest in themselves often resent those who do. That's their problem, not yours. Here's the truth. When you don't value your time, nobody else will either. When you don't protect your priorities, other people will fill your schedule with their priorities. Successful people are masters at saying no. They say no to good opportunities so they can say yes to great ones. They say no to urgent but unimportant tasks so they can say yes to important but not urgent activities. Your growth hour is like a garden. If you don't build a fence around it, weeds will grow. Those weeds are distractions, interruptions, and other people's agendas. Build the fence, guard the garden, protect what's precious. Create a physical barrier too. Close your door, turn off your phone, use airplane mode, go to a quiet room. Some people even leave their house to protect their hour. Do whatever it takes to create a distraction-free environment. Remember, this isn't about being rude or antisocial. It's about being serious about your future, serious about your goals, serious about becoming the person you want to be. The people who matter will understand. The people who don't understand don't matter. Your future self will thank you for protecting this time. Your current self will feel proud for having the discipline to guard what's important. Every time you successfully protect your hour, you build self-respect. Every time you give it away, you lose a little confidence in yourself. Choose self-respect. Choose discipline. Choose your future over their interruptions. Learn during your hour. Knowledge is power, but only when it's applied. Most people treat learning like entertainment. They consume information casually, without purpose, without a plan. That's not learning. That's just passing time. Real learning is intentional, it's focused, it's designed to solve specific problems and achieve specific goals. When you approach learning this way, everything changes. During your daily hour, dedicate at least 30 minutes to learning something that directly relates to your goals. Not random information, not interesting, but useless facts. Targeted knowledge that moves you forward. If you want to start a business, study successful entrepreneurs, read their books, listen to their interviews, learn their strategies. If you want to improve your health, study nutrition and exercise science. If you want better relationships, study communication and psychology. If you want financial freedom, study money management and investing. Choose your learning materials carefully. Not all information is created equal. Some books, courses, and content will transform your life. Others will waste your time. Focus on content created by people who have achieved what you want to achieve. Read biographies of successful people in your field. Study case studies of companies that built what you want to build. Learn from mentors who've walked the path you want to walk. This isn't just information gathering. This is blueprint acquisition. Here's a powerful technique: active learning. Don't just read or listen passively. Take notes, ask questions, connect new ideas to things you already know. Summarize what you learn in your own words. This transforms information into understanding. Another key principle: quality over quantity. It's better to deeply understand one powerful concept than to skim through 10 surface-level ideas. Read fewer books, but read them completely. Take fewer courses, but complete them fully. Create a learning system. Keep a notebook dedicated to your growth hour. Write down key insights, important quotes, and actionable ideas. Review your notes regularly. This helps transfer information from short-term memory to long-term memory. Don't just learn new things. Learn better ways to do things you already. He doesn't skip workouts when he's filming movies. He doesn't take breaks when he's traveling. He doesn't wait until he feels motivated. Continuous improvement in your existing skills often pays higher dividends than learning completely new skills. Stay current in your field. Industries change fast. What worked 5 years ago might not work today. Subscribe to industry publications. Follow thought leaders. Attend virtual conferences. Keep your knowledge fresh and relevant. But here's the most important point: learn with intention to apply. Every piece of information you consume should connect to an action you can take. If you can't apply it, don't spend time learning it. Your goal isn't to become a trivia expert, it's to become more effective. The most successful people are lifelong learners. They never stop growing their knowledge. They understand that in a rapidly changing world, developing a winner's mindset. Your mindset determines everything. It's the lens through which you see every challenge, every setback, every opportunity. People with a winning mindset don't avoid problems. They see problems as chances to grow stronger. When Elon Musk was building Tesla and SpaceX, everyone told him he was crazy. Electric cars would never work. Private space companies were impossible. He faced failure after failure, came close to bankruptcy multiple times, and worked 80 to 100 hours a week while sleeping at the office. But he never gave up because he saw each challenge as a step toward his vision. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. Many people would have seen this as proof that they weren't good enough. But Jordan used this rejection as fuel. He practiced harder than anyone else. He turned his pain into power. That failure became the foundation of his greatness. Jeff Bezos left a high-paying job on Wall Street to sell books from his garage. People thought he was throwing his life away. For years, Amazon barely made money, but Bezos had a winner's mindset. He saw beyond the present struggles to the future possibilities. He was willing to sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term success. A winner's mindset means believing that every setback is setting you up for a comeback. It means understanding that the struggle isn't a sign you're on the wrong path. The struggle is the path. Time is your most valuable asset. Time doesn't wait for anyone. While you're making excuses, someone else is making progress. While you're waiting for the right moment, someone else is creating their moment. Every successful person understands that time is the only resource you can never get back. You can lose money and earn it again. You can lose relationships and build new ones. You can lose opportunities and create better ones. But once time is gone, it's gone forever. J.K. Rowling was a single mother living on welfare when she started writing Harry Potter. She could have told herself she didn't have time to write. She could have waited until her life was easier, until she had more money, until she felt more confident. Instead, she wrote whenever she could find a few spare moments. She turned her struggles into stories. That decision to use her time wisely changed not just her life, but the lives of millions of readers around the world. Colonel Sanders was 62 years old when he started KFC. Most people that age are thinking about retirement, not starting a business. He was rejected 1,009 times before someone agreed to use his chicken recipe. But he understood that his age wasn't an excuse. It was a reason to move faster, not slower. Time is democratic, rich or poor, young or old, educated or not. Everyone gets the same 24 hours each day. The difference between successful people and everyone else is how they use those hours. They don't waste time on things that don't matter. They invest time in things that will create the future they want. Stop saying you don't have time. You have the same amount of time as everyone else who has ever achieved anything great. The question isn't whether you have time. The question is what you're doing with the time you have. Live a life of purpose. Find your why. Success without purpose is just fancy failure. You can achieve all your goals, make all the money, and get all the recognition in the world. But if you don't know why you're doing it, you'll still feel empty inside. Purpose gives your efforts meaning. It gives you strength when things get difficult. It gives you direction when you feel lost. Your purpose doesn't have to change the world, but it has to change you. It has to be something that gets you out of bed in the morning, something that keeps you going when everyone else quits, something that makes all the hard work feel worth it. Some people find purpose in their family. They work hard to give their children a better life than they had. Some people find purpose in their art. They create because they have something important to say. Some people find purpose in helping others. They build businesses or charities that solve real problems. The key is to find something bigger than yourself. When your goals are only about you, it's easy to give up when things get tough. But when your goals are connected to something larger, you find strength you didn't know you had. Purpose also gives you clarity. When you know why you're working so hard, it becomes easier to make decisions. It becomes easier to stay focused on what really matters. Take time to think about what drives you. What problems do you want to solve? What would you regret not doing if your time was running out? What value will you create? These answers will point you toward your purpose. Action is the cure for fear. Fear is normal. Everyone feels afraid when they're trying to do something that matters, something that could change their life. The difference between successful people and everyone else isn't that successful people don't feel fear, it's that they take action despite the fear. Fear tries to protect you, but it often protects you from exactly what you need most. It protects you from taking risks, but growth requires risk. It protects you from failure, but failure is how you learn. It protects you from discomfort, but comfort is where dreams go to die. The only way to overcome fear is to face it directly, not by thinking about it, not by planning for it, not by waiting for it to go away. By taking action in spite of it. Every time you act despite your fear, you prove to yourself that you're stronger than you thought. You build courage like a muscle, and it gets stronger each time you use it. Remember, courage isn't about not being afraid. You feel the fear, but still do what's needed. Taking that first step, even when the whole staircase is hidden, is what real courage looks like. Action doesn't just cure fear, it creates confidence. It opens doors you didn't even know existed. The life you want is waiting on the other side of your fear, but you'll never reach it by standing still. Become your best self. Push yourself harder than anyone else will. The difference between successful people and everyone else isn't luck, talent, or connections. It's the willingness to demand more from themselves than anyone else would ever ask. Successful people set higher standards. They put in longer hours, take on bigger challenges, and refuse to settle for good enough. Most people wait for someone else to push them. They wait for a boss to give them more responsibility. They wait for a coach to make them work harder. They wait for circumstances to force them to grow. But successful people push themselves. They don't need external pressure because they create their own. The most successful people in history all shared this trait. They were never satisfied with average. They always wanted to improve, to grow, to become better than they were yesterday. This internal drive is what separated them from everyone else. You have to become your own biggest challenger. You have to set goals that scare you a little. You have to demand excellence from yourself even when no one else is watching. Because the person you become in the process of pushing yourself is worth more than any external reward. Become unstoppable. Being unstoppable doesn't mean you never fall down. It means you always get back up. It doesn't mean you never fail. It means you never quit. Unstoppable people look at obstacles differently. Problems become puzzles to solve. Barriers turn into challenges to overcome. Muhammad Ali lost fights, but he never lost his belief in himself. Thomas Edison's inventions failed thousands of times before they worked. Oprah Winfrey was born into poverty and faced discrimination, but she never let circumstances define her limits. What makes someone unstoppable is their mindset. They understand that setbacks are temporary, but giving up is permanent. They know that every expert was once a beginner. They believe that if someone else has done something, they can learn to do it too. Being unstoppable also means being willing to stand alone. It's believing in your vision even when others doubt, working on your goals even when friends and family don't understand, and staying comfortable with being different because you know that's what creates extraordinary results. The world needs more unstoppable people. They refuse to accept limitations. They keep going when others quit and turn their biggest challenges into their greatest strengths. The question is, are you ready to become one of them? Create your legacy. Every day you're alive, you're writing your story. Every choice you make, every action you take, every moment you choose courage over comfort, you're creating the legacy you'll leave behind. The question isn't whether you'll leave a legacy. Everyone leaves something behind. The question is, what kind of legacy will it be? Will people remember you as someone who made excuses or someone who made things happen? Will they remember you as someone who gave up when things got tough or someone who found a way through every obstacle? Will they remember you as someone who played it safe or someone who dared to dream big? Legacy isn't only about big achievements. It's shaped by the small daily choices that reveal who you really are, by how you treat people when no one important is watching, by whether you keep promises to yourself, and by the person you actually become. The most powerful legacies inspire others to believe in themselves. They show that ordinary people can do extraordinary things if they're willing to work for it. Think about the people who have influenced your life the most. Chances are they were people who believed in something bigger than themselves and worked every day to make it real. You have the same opportunity. Every day you choose to work on yourself, to pursue your goals, to be better than you were yesterday. You're inspiring someone else to do the same. Your growth gives other people permission to grow. Your success shows them what's possible. Start thinking about the impact you want to have. What problems do you want to solve? What kind of example do you want to set? What would you want people to say about how you lived your life? These questions will guide you toward creating a legacy worth leaving. You are stronger than you know. Right now, you might be feeling overwhelmed. You might be thinking about all the work ahead of you, all the changes you need to make, all the challenges you'll have to face. That's normal. Everyone feels this way when they first realize how much power they actually have over their own life. But here's what I want you to remember. You are so much stronger than you know. The same strength that got you through your past challenges is still inside you. It's waiting to help you build the future you want. You don't need to become a different person to achieve your dreams. You just have to become the best version of yourself. Every person who has ever achieved anything significant started exactly where you are right now. They had doubts, they had fears, they had obstacles. The only difference was that they decided to take action instead of being afraid and waiting for someone else to prove to them that they could do it. You have everything you need to get started. You don't need perfect conditions, extra time, money, or support. What you need is to take action right now to achieve your dreams. The path won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it. Every step you take toward your goals makes you stronger. Every challenge you overcome builds your confidence. Don't wait for someone else to believe in you. Believe in yourself. Your dreams are waiting for you. Your future self is counting on the decisions you make today. Your journey starts now. Remember, nobody cares about your dreams as much as you do, and that's actually the greatest gift you could receive. Because it means you don't need anyone's permission to chase them. You just need your own commitment to see it through. The pain you feel right now, the frustration with where you are, and the hunger for something better are not your enemy. They are your fuel. Use them to power the changes you want, build the discipline you need, and create the life you deserve. You are stronger than you know. If you found value in today's video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Fluent English with Redio. We're here to help you improve your English while discovering powerful strategies for personal growth and success. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you never miss our latest content. We have many more motivational and educational videos coming your way, covering topics that will help you build the life you've always dreamed of. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. At Fluent English with Radio, we're here to cheer you on as you learn, grow, and become the best version of yourself. We believe in your potential and will keep sharing the inspiration you need to succeed. We'll be here, walking alongside you on this journey, providing the motivation and guidance you need to become the person you were meant to be. Keep practicing your English, keep building your discipline, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. Small steps lead to big changes, and every day is a new opportunity to move closer to your goals. Are you tired of feeling stuck? Every morning you wake up with big dreams, but every night you go to bed with the same problems. You tell yourself, tomorrow will be different, but tomorrow looks exactly like today. You're not lazy, you're not broken. You're just missing one simple truth that successful people discovered long ago. Today, I'm going to share that secret with you. What if I told you that just 60 minutes a day could completely change your life? Not 5 hours, not 10 hours, just one single hour. Most people think change requires massive effort, perfect timing, or special talent. That's a lie. Real change starts with 1 hour of focused action every day. The problem isn't that you don't have enough time. The problem is that you don't know how to use the time you have. Welcome to Fluent English with Radio, where small changes create big results. Today, you'll learn the exact system that turns average people into achievers, dreamers into doers, and wishers into winners. The power of 1 hour every day. Let me start with a hard truth. Most people fail not because they lack talent, but because they waste time. They spend hours scrolling through their phones, watching meaningless videos, and complaining about their problems. But they won't spend 1 hour working on their solutions. 1 hour equals 4% of your day, just 4%. You probably spend more time than that waiting in traffic or standing in line. Yet this 1 hour, when used correctly, has more power than the other 23 hours combined. Here's why 1 hour matters so much. It's not about the time itself, it's about what that time represents. It represents your commitment to yourself. It represents your belief in your future. It represents your decision to stop being a victim of circumstances and start being the creator of your life. Think about successful people you admire. What do they all have in common? They understand that success is built one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, one decision at a time. They don't wait for big breaks or perfect conditions. They create progress through consistent daily action. Warren Buffett reads for 5 to 6 hours every day. Bill Gates reads 50 books per year. Oprah meditates every morning. What do they know that you don't? They know that daily habits determine destiny. They know that small, consistent actions compound into extraordinary results. But here's what they also know that most people miss. You don't need 5 hours like Warren Buffett. You don't need to read 50 books like Bill Gates. You just need to commit to one focused hour of growth every single day. 1 hour of reading equals 365 hours per year. That's like attending college for 15 weeks straight, focused entirely on your goals. 1 hour of practicing a skill every day will make you better than 95% of people in that area within just 2 years. The math is simple, but the impact is life-changing. Most people overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in a year. 1 hour seems small, but it's actually massive when you multiply it by 365 days. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop waiting for miracles. Start with 1 hour. That's your foundation. That's your beginning. That's your path to the life you actually want. Take control of your first hour. Here's the most important decision you'll make today. What happens in your first hour after you wake up? Most people give this precious time away without even thinking about it. They grab their phone, check messages, scroll social media, and let other people's priorities become their first priority. Big mistake, huge mistake, life-changing mistake. How you start your day determines how you live your life. This isn't just motivation talk, this is brain science. Your mind is most clear, most focused, and most capable in the first hour. Your willpower is at its peak. Your ability to concentrate is at its strongest. And what do most people do with this golden hour? They waste it. Let me paint you a picture. You wake up and immediately reach for your phone. Within minutes, you're reading about problems you can't solve, drama you don't need, and other people's highlight reels that make you feel worse about your own life. Your brain, which was fresh and ready for growth, is now filled with noise, negativity, and distraction. By the time you're actually ready to start your day, your mental energy is already depleted. Your focus is scattered. Your mood is affected by things that have nothing to do with your goals or your life. You've handed control of your mind to algorithms, advertisers, and people who don't even know you exist. Here's what successful people do differently. They protect their first hour like it's made of gold, because it is. They use this time to program their minds for success instead of letting the world program them for mediocrity. Instead of checking what everyone else is doing, they check in with themselves. Instead of consuming other people's content, they create their own clarity. Instead of reacting to the world, they design their day. Your first hour should be sacred. No phone, no social media, no news, no distractions. Just you, your goals, and your growth. Use this time to read something that expands your mind. Write down your priorities for the day. Visualize your success. Plan your actions. Move your body. Feed your soul. When you control your first hour, something powerful happens. You start your day as the director of your life, not just an actor in someone else's story. You become proactive instead of reactive. You set the tone instead of letting the world set it for you. I know what you're thinking. I'm not a morning person. Listen, success doesn't care about your preferences. Champions aren't born ready. They make themselves ready. They train their habits. They build their discipline. And so can you. Starting tomorrow, make a deal with yourself. Before you give your attention to the outside world, give it to your inner world. Before you check on everyone else's life, check on your own. Before you consume content, create progress. The first hour is when you're strongest mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Don't waste this gift on activities that drain you. Use it for activities that grow you. Because when you win the morning, you win the day. And when you win enough days, you win your life. Plan before you act. Most people fail because they confuse being busy with being productive. They work hard, but they don't work smart. They have energy, but they don't have direction. They take action, but they take the wrong action. Before you spend your precious hour doing anything, you need to answer one crucial question. Where are you going? If you don't know where you're headed, any road will take you there, and any road usually leads to nowhere important. Direction is everything. It's the difference between spinning your wheels and moving forward. It's the difference between feeling busy and feeling accomplished. It's the difference between working hard and getting results. Here's what most people do wrong. They jump into action without intention. They start doing things without deciding what needs to be done. They work without working toward anything specific. This is like trying to hit a target in the dark. You might get lucky, but you'll probably miss. Successful people do the opposite. They aim before they fire. They plan before they act. They get clear on their destination before they start their journey. Before your hour begins, take just 3 minutes to get crystal clear on your purpose. Ask yourself these questions. What specific skill am I building today? What exact problem am I solving? What measurable progress will I make? Why does this matter for my future? Write down your answers. Don't keep them in your head. Get them on paper. When you write something down, you make a contract with yourself. You transform a vague idea into a specific commitment. Let me tell you about the power of why. Your why is your fuel. When you know why you're doing something, how to do it becomes much clearer. When your why is strong enough, you'll find a way. When your why is weak, you'll find excuses. For example, don't just say, "I want to read more." That's too vague. Instead, say, "I'm reading 30 minutes every day to improve my communication skills because better communication will help me advance in my career and build stronger relationships." Now you have direction. Now you have purpose. Now you have power. Your brain loves specific targets. Give it one. Instead of saying, "I want to get better at writing," say, "I'm writing 500 words every day to improve my storytelling ability because great storytellers influence people and change lives." Instead of saying, "I want to learn about business," say, "I'm studying marketing for 45 minutes daily because understanding marketing will help me grow my side business to $5,000 per month." See the difference? The first examples are wishes. The second examples are plans. Wishes hope for results. Plans create results. Here's another critical point. Focus on one thing at a time. Your brain can't excel when it's scattered across multiple priorities. Pick one main skill, one main area, one main goal for your daily hour. Master that before you move to something else. Remember, clarity on paper becomes focus in action. When you know exactly what you're working toward and why it matters, every minute of your hour becomes powerful. Every action becomes purposeful. Every effort moves you closer to success. Direction turns your hour from random activity into targeted progress. And targeted progress is what separates achievers from everyone else. Protect your hour like treasure. Now that you've claimed your hour and know how to use it, here comes the hardest part, protecting it. Because the world will try to steal it from you. Not with force, but with 1,000 small distractions. Your phone will buzz. Someone will want just 5 minutes. An urgent email will arrive. A family member will need something. A friend will call with drama. And before you know it, your growth hour is gone. Traded away for other people's priorities. You have to understand something fundamental. That hour is not free time. It's not flexible time. It's not time you can afford to lose. It's the most valuable hour of your day because it's the hour that builds your future. Think of it this way: if someone tried to steal $100 from you, would you let them? Of course not. Well, that hour is worth more than $100. It's worth your dreams, your goals, your potential, your future success. Don't let anyone steal it. Here's what you need to do. Set boundaries, real boundaries. Not suggestions, not flexible guidelines, hard boundaries that you enforce consistently. Tell your family, from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., I'm unavailable unless there's an emergency. This is my growth time. Tell your friends, I don't take calls or texts during my morning hour. I'll get back to you after. Tell your coworkers, I start checking emails at 8 a.m., not before. Some people won't like this. They'll call you selfish. They'll say you're being antisocial. They'll try to make you feel guilty. Don't fall for it. People who don't invest in themselves often resent those who do. That's their problem, not yours. Here's the truth. When you don't value your time, nobody else will either. When you don't protect your priorities, other people will fill your schedule with their priorities. Successful people are masters at saying no. They say no to good opportunities so they can say yes to great ones. They say no to urgent but unimportant tasks so they can say yes to important but not urgent activities. Your growth hour is like a garden. If you don't build a fence around it, weeds will grow. Those weeds are distractions, interruptions, and other people's agendas. Build the fence, guard the garden, protect what's precious. Create a physical barrier too. Close your door. Turn off your phone. Use airplane mode. Go to a quiet room. Some people even leave their house to protect their hour. Do whatever it takes to create a distraction-free environment. Remember, this isn't about being rude or antisocial. It's about being serious. Serious about your future. Serious about your goals. Serious about becoming the person you want to be. The people who matter will understand. The people who don't understand don't matter. Your future self will thank you for protecting this time. Your current self will feel proud for having the discipline to guard what's important. Every time you successfully protect your hour, you build self-respect. Every time you give it away, you lose a little confidence in yourself. Choose self-respect. Choose discipline. Choose your future over their interruptions. Learn during your hour. Knowledge is power, but only when it's applied. Most people treat learning like entertainment. They consume information casually, without purpose, without a plan. That's not learning. That's just passing time. Real learning is intentional. It's focused. It's designed to solve specific problems and achieve specific goals. When you approach learning this way, everything changes. During your daily hour, dedicate at least 30 minutes to learning something that directly relates to your goals. Not random information, not interesting, but useless facts. Targeted knowledge that moves you forward. If you want to start a business, study successful entrepreneurs, read their books, listen to their interviews, learn their strategies. If you want to improve your health, study nutrition and exercise science. If you want better relationships, study communication and psychology. If you want financial freedom, study money management and investing. Choose your learning materials carefully. Not all information is created equal. Some books, courses, and content will transform your life. Others will waste your time. Focus on content created by people who have achieved what you want to achieve. Read biographies of successful people in your field. Study case studies of companies that built what you want to build. Learn from mentors who've walked the path you want to walk. This isn't just information gathering. This is blueprint acquisition. Here's a powerful technique: active learning. Don't just read or listen passively. Take notes, ask questions, connect new ideas to things you already know. Summarize what you learn in your own words. This transforms information into understanding. Another key principle: quality over quantity. It's better to deeply understand one powerful concept than to skim through 10 surface-level ideas. Read fewer books, but read them completely. Take fewer courses, but complete them fully. Create a learning system. Keep a notebook dedicated to your growth hour. Write down key insights, important quotes, and actionable ideas. Review your notes regularly. This helps transfer information from short-term memory to long-term memory. Don't just learn new things. Learn better ways to do things you already do. If you're already good at something, get great at it. If you're great at something, become world-class. Continuous improvement in your existing skills often pays higher dividends than learning completely new skills. Stay current in your field. Industries change fast. What worked 5 years ago might not work today. Subscribe to industry publications. Follow thought leaders. Attend virtual conferences. Keep your knowledge fresh and relevant. But here's the most important point: learn with intention to apply. Every piece of information you consume should connect to an action you can take. If you can't apply it, don't spend time learning it. Your goal isn't to become a trivia expert. It's to become more effective. The most successful people are lifelong learners. They never stop growing their knowledge. They understand that in a rapidly changing world, the only way to stay relevant is to keep learning. Make learning a daily habit, and you'll make success a lifestyle. Practice during your hour. Here's where most people fail. They learn, but they don't practice. They study, but they don't apply. They know, but they don't do. And knowing without doing is useless. 1 hour of practice beats 10 hours of theory. Why? Because practice is where knowledge becomes skill. Practice is where understanding becomes ability. Practice is where potential becomes performance. You don't become a great speaker by reading about speaking. You become great by speaking. You don't master writing by studying grammar. You master it by writing. You don't build business skills by watching videos about business. You build them by doing business activities. Dedicate at least 30 minutes of your daily hour to hands-on practice. If you're learning to code, write code. If you're studying sales, practice your pitch. If you're learning a language, have conversations. If you're building a business, work on your business plan. Practice doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. Every time you practice, you get a little better. Every time you apply what you've learned, you build confidence. Every time you do something, instead of just thinking about it, you move closer to mastery. Here's what practice gives you that studying alone cannot: feedback. When you practice, you immediately see what works and what doesn't. You discover your strengths and weaknesses. You identify areas that need improvement. This feedback loop accelerates your learning. Make your practice specific and measurable. Use the 80-20 principle in your practice. Focus 80% of your practice time on the 20% of skills that will give you the most results. If you're learning sales, spend more time practicing closing techniques than memorizing product features. If you're learning marketing, focus more on creating compelling offers than learning every marketing theory. Practice deliberately. Don't just go through the motions. Push yourself slightly beyond your comfort zone. If something is easy, you're not growing. Seek challenges that stretch your abilities. Track your practice. Keep a log of what you practiced, for how long, and what you learned. This helps you see your progress over time. It also helps you identify patterns in your improvement and areas where you need more work. Here's a powerful practice technique. Teach what you learn. If you can explain something to someone else, you truly understand it. Create content about what you're learning. Make videos. Write blog posts. Give presentations. Teaching forces you to organize your knowledge and identify gaps in your understanding. Remember, practice makes permanent, not perfect. If you practice the wrong way repeatedly, you'll get good at doing things wrong. Make sure you're practicing correctly. Seek feedback from experts. Study best practices. Adjust your approach based on results. The goal of practice isn't perfection, it's progress. Every hour you practice is an hour invested in your future competence. Every skill you develop through practice is a tool you'll have forever. Practice turns knowledge into power. Reflect, refine, and repeat. Most people rush from one day to the next without ever stopping to evaluate their progress. They're too busy doing to think about whether they're doing the right things. This is a huge mistake. Reflection is what turns experience into wisdom. It's what transforms random activities into purposeful progress. It's what separates people who stay busy from people who get better. Write down your answers. Don't just think about them. Physical writing activates different parts of your brain and helps you process information more deeply. Keep a simple journal of your daily growth sessions. Reflection helps you identify patterns. Maybe you learn better in the morning than the afternoon. Maybe you're more focused when you read physical books versus digital ones. Maybe you practice more effectively when you set specific time limits. These insights help you optimize your approach. Reflection also helps you celebrate progress. It's easy to focus on how far you still have to go and ignore how far you've already come. When you reflect regularly, you notice improvements you might otherwise miss. This builds confidence and motivation. But don't stop at reflection. The next step is refinement. Based on what you learned about yourself and your process, make small adjustments. If something isn't working, change it. If something is working well, do more of it. Refinement doesn't mean overhauling everything. It means making small, intelligent adjustments. Maybe you need to wake up 15 minutes earlier. Maybe you need to change your learning environment. Maybe you need to switch from reading to listening to podcasts during your commute. The key is to experiment systematically. Change one thing at a time. Test it for at least a week. Evaluate the results. Keep what works. Discard what doesn't. This systematic approach to improvement will accelerate your progress dramatically. Here's what most people miss. The process is more important than any single day's results. Some days you'll feel like you made huge progress. Other days you'll feel like you barely moved forward. Both are normal. What matters is the consistency of the process, not the perfection of any individual session. Create feedback loops. Set weekly reviews where you look at your progress over 7 days. Set monthly reviews where you evaluate your overall direction. Set quarterly reviews where you assess whether you need to adjust your goals or methods. This reflect, refine, repeat cycle is what turns good intentions into great results. It's what transforms wishful thinking into systematic progress. It's what separates people who try from people who succeed. Remember, you're not just building skills during your daily hour. You're building a system for lifelong growth. You're developing the ability to learn anything, improve anything, and achieve anything. This meta skill of continuous improvement will serve you for the rest of your life. Don't rush this process. Don't skip the reflection. Don't avoid the refinement. These steps seem small, but they're what turn your daily hour into a life-changing habit. Build discipline, your foundation for success. Everything we've talked about so far depends on one thing: your ability to show up consistently, even when you don't feel like it. That ability is called discipline, and it's the most important skill you'll ever develop. Discipline is what gets you out of bed when you'd rather sleep in. Discipline is what opens the book when you'd rather watch TV. Discipline is what pushes you to practice when you'd rather procrastinate. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. Let me be clear about something. Motivation is unreliable. Some days you'll feel motivated. Other days you won't. If you depend on motivation to maintain your daily hour, you'll fail. Motivation is like the weather. It changes constantly. Discipline is like the sun. It shows up every day regardless of conditions. Building discipline is crucial for achieving your goals because it provides the focus, consistency, and resilience needed to overcome obstacles and stay on track. Real change is slow, uncomfortable, but it requires your commitment no matter what. Here's how discipline actually works. It's not about being superhuman. It's about making decisions in advance and then following through on those decisions, regardless of how you feel in the moment. Discipline starts with small choices. The choice to set an alarm and actually get up when it rings. The choice to put your phone in another room during your growth hour. The choice to practice even when you're not seeing immediate results. These small choices, made consistently, build your discipline muscle. Yes, discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Every time you do what you said you would do, especially when you don't feel like doing it, you're building discipline. Every time you keep a commitment to yourself, you're proving to yourself that you're reliable. Start with easy wins. Don't try to completely transform your life overnight. Pick one small commitment and honor it consistently. Maybe it's drinking a glass of water first thing in the morning. Maybe it's making your bed every day. Maybe it's reading just 5 pages before checking your phone. These small commitments might seem insignificant, but they're building something powerful: self-trust. When you prove to yourself that you can keep small commitments, you develop confidence in your ability to keep bigger ones. Here's a discipline strategy that works. Remove the decision from the moment. Instead of deciding each morning whether you'll do your growth hour, decide once that you'll do it every day at the same time. Turn it into a non-negotiable part of your schedule. Create environmental supports for discipline. If you want to read more, put books everywhere and hide your phone. If you want to exercise, lay out your workout clothes the night before. If you want to write, set up your computer with a writing app open. Make the right choice easier and the wrong choice harder. Understand that discipline gets easier with time, not harder. The first week is the hardest. The first month is challenging. But after that, your new behavior starts becoming automatic. What once required tremendous willpower starts requiring very little effort at all. Don't aim for perfection, aim for consistency. If you miss a day, don't quit. Just get back on track the next day. The goal isn't to never fail. The goal is to fail less often and recover faster when you do. Discipline in one area of your life spreads to other areas. When you become disciplined about your daily learning hour, you'll notice you become more disciplined about your work, your health, your relationships, your finances. Discipline is a transferable skill. Real transformation doesn't happen overnight. It happens over time through consistent daily actions. And consistency only comes through discipline. Build this foundation first, and everything else becomes possible. I'm going to create a complete video about how to build discipline that will give you specific strategies and techniques for developing this crucial skill. Make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on so you don't miss it. It's going to be a game changer for anyone serious about personal growth. Start now. Your future can't wait. We've covered the complete system: claiming your first hour, protecting it from distractions, learning with purpose, practicing with intention, reflecting for improvement, and building the discipline to maintain consistency. You now have everything you need to transform your life. But knowledge without action is worthless. You can understand every concept perfectly, but if you don't start implementing them today, nothing will change. The gap between knowing and doing is where most dreams die. So here's the moment of truth. Will you be someone who learns and acts, or someone who learns and forgets? The time for delay is over. Not next Monday, not next month, not next year. Today, right now, this moment. Because every day you wait is a day of potential growth lost forever. Every hour you waste is an hour you can never get back. I know what you're thinking. I'll start when I have more time. But you'll never have more time. You'll only have different priorities. I'll start when I feel more motivated. But motivation comes after action, not before it. I'll start when conditions are perfect. But perfect conditions don't exist. Success happens in imperfect conditions. Here's what successful people understand that others don't. You don't have to feel ready to start. You just have to start. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to take the first step. You don't have to be great to get started. You have to get started to be great. Think about the compound effect of starting today. 1 hour a day for a year equals 365 hours of focused growth. That's like attending university for more than 9 full weeks, focused entirely on your most important goals. In just 1 year, you could become an expert in your chosen field. But it gets better. If you commit to this for 5 years, you'll have invested over 1,800 hours in your personal development. That's enough time to become world-class at almost any skill. Enough time to master a new language, build a successful business, or become an expert in your field. Now imagine the person you'll become. Imagine the skills you'll have. Imagine the opportunities that will open up. Imagine the life you'll be living. All because you made one decision to invest 1 hour a day in yourself. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. The same is true for your personal growth. You can't change the past, but you can absolutely change your future. Starting today. So what's it going to be? Another day of excuses or the first day of your transformation? Another day of being the person you've always been or the start of becoming the person you want to be? Your future self is watching this decision. They're hoping you'll choose growth over comfort, action over excuses, commitment over convenience. They're counting on you to make the choice that creates the life they want to live. Don't let them down. Don't let yourself down. Start today. Start now. Take out a piece of paper and write down your commitment. What time will your daily growth hour be? What will you focus on first? What's the first book you'll read or skill you'll practice? Make it specific. Make it real. Make it happen. Because every hour you invest in yourself is an hour invested in your future. Every day you commit to growth is a day you move closer to your dreams. Every moment you choose discipline over comfort is a moment you build the life you actually want. The time for excuses is over. The time for delay has passed. The time for action is now. Your transformed life starts with your very next hour. Make it count. Thank you for choosing to grow with Fluent English with Radio. Hit that like button to let me know this resonated with you. Subscribe to Fluent English with Radio if you haven't already, and make sure to ring that notification bell. We consistently create content that will help you grow both your English skills and your life. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this message. Your support means everything and helps us reach more people ready to transform their lives. Until next time, keep practicing, keep growing, and never stop believing in the power of consistent daily action. Your calm, confident future starts now.
There's something that happens in the quiet moments of the morning. Your alarm goes off, jarring you from sleep, but your mind has other plans. Suddenly, a voice begins whispering in your head, gentle, persuasive, seemingly reasonable. Just 5 more minutes, it says. You worked so hard yesterday. You deserve this rest. And as these thoughts circle in your mind, you feel that familiar pull toward comfort, that warmth that whispers, why make life harder than it needs to be? Why not take the easy path? We've all been there. Every single person reading this has negotiated with that voice. Some people give in immediately. Others fight it briefly before surrendering. Some have learned to recognize it for what it truly is. The voice of stagnation, disguised as kindness. But here's the truth that changes everything. You don't have to live at the mercy of that voice. Today, we're going on a journey together. A journey from weakness to strength. From comfort to growth, from excuses to action. If you're tired of feeling controlled by your impulses, if you're ready to learn how to build genuine discipline that lasts, then stay with me, because what I'm about to share with you has the power to transform not just your habits, but your entire relationship with yourself. Facing laziness without negotiation. Picture this. Every morning, you engage in a silent negotiation with an invisible opponent. This opponent never sleeps, never gets tired, and has unlimited arguments at its disposal. Its name is laziness, and it's been winning far too often. I'll start tomorrow, it whispers. This one day won't matter. I'm too tired right now. I deserve a break after working so hard. Sound familiar? Here's what most people don't realize. Laziness isn't just suggesting you rest, it's training you to quit. Every time you say yes to its negotiations, you're teaching your brain that excuses are more powerful than decisions. Think about Alex, a 28-year-old marketing professional who had big dreams. Every night before bed, Alex would set ambitious goals for the next day, wake up at 6 a.m., hit the gym, work on that side business, read for 30 minutes. But every morning when the alarm rang, the negotiations began. I'll wake up at 6:30 instead, then 7 o'clock, then 7:30. By the time Alex actually got up, the gym was out of the question, the side business remained untouched, and the only reading that happened was scrolling through social media. After a year of this pattern, Alex looked in the mirror and asked a painful question. How did I become someone I don't respect? The answer was simple but brutal. Alex had been negotiating with laziness and losing every single time. But here's the key insight that changed Alex's life. The moment you stop negotiating is the moment you start winning. Laziness thrives on debate. It loves when you entertain its arguments because it knows that given enough time, it can convince you of anything. But laziness has one fatal weakness. It cannot survive in the presence of immediate action. When your alarm goes off, you have exactly 3 seconds before laziness begins its pitch. In those 3 seconds, you have a choice. Engage in negotiation or move your body. The people who transform their lives have learned to choose movement over discussion. Here's a simple but powerful rule that can change everything. No bargaining before breakfast. From the moment you wake up until you've completed your morning routine, you don't negotiate with any impulse that pulls you toward comfort. Alarm rings, you get up. Time to exercise, you move. Time to work, you begin. This isn't about being harsh with yourself. It's about recognizing that your future self is depending on the choices your present self makes right now. Action step. For the next 7 days, implement the 3-second rule. When you need to do something important, count down from 3 and then move your body immediately. 3, 2, 1, go. No thinking, no debating, just action. Notice how different it feels to bypass the negotiation phase entirely. The power of instant action. Most people wait until they feel ready. That's exactly why their dreams keep waiting too. Here's a truth that successful people understand but rarely talk about. Readiness is a feeling that comes after action, not before it. Think about the last time you accomplished something meaningful. I'll bet you didn't feel completely ready when you started. You probably felt nervous, uncertain, maybe even afraid, but you acted anyway, and somewhere in the middle of taking action, readiness found you. The brain has an interesting quirk. It creates more resistance to tasks that haven't been started than to tasks that are in progress. This is why the hardest part of going to the gym isn't the workout, it's putting on your shoes. The hardest part of writing isn't finding the perfect words, it's opening a blank document. Psychologists call this the activation energy principle. Every task has an initial energy barrier that feels disproportionately large compared to what follows. Once you push through that barrier, momentum takes over. Consider Maria, a working mother who wanted to start a blog but kept waiting for the perfect time to begin. She told herself she needed to research the best platform, develop a content strategy, and find her unique voice before writing her first post. Months passed. The perfect time never came. Then Maria learned about instant action. Instead of planning the perfect blog, she opened her laptop and wrote one paragraph about her experience juggling work and motherhood. Just one paragraph, but that paragraph broke the spell. The next day, she wrote 2 paragraphs. Within a week, she had her first complete post. Within a month, she had launched her blog. The magic wasn't in the perfect plan, it was in the decision to start before she felt ready. The 3-2-1 method is your weapon against overthinking. When you think of something you need to do, count down from 3 and then take one small action immediately. Not tomorrow, not after you've planned it perfectly, right now. Need to exercise. 3-2-1. Put on your workout clothes. Need to call someone. 3-2-1. Pick up the phone. Need to work on a project. 3-2-1. Open the file. The action doesn't have to be big, it just has to be immediate, because immediate action creates something that planning never can: momentum. But here's the crucial part. You must shrink the action to make it instant. Don't commit to a 2-hour workout when you count down. Commit to putting on your gym clothes. Don't commit to writing a chapter. Commit to writing one sentence. The goal isn't to finish everything in those first few seconds. The goal is to break the barrier between thought and action. Once you've started, your brain shifts from resistance mode to flow mode. Action step. Right now, think of one task you've been putting off. Set a timer for 10 minutes and use the 3-2-1 method to start it immediately. Don't worry about finishing, just focus on beginning. Notice how different the task feels once you've broken through the initial resistance. Discipline and self-care, the missing balance. Here's where most discipline advice goes wrong. It treats your body and mind like machines that should operate at maximum capacity without breaks, maintenance, or compassion. This approach doesn't just fail, it backfires spectacularly. When you try to force discipline through punishment and deprivation, you create an internal rebellion. Your subconscious mind begins to associate discipline with suffering, making it increasingly difficult to maintain healthy habits. True discipline isn't about forcing yourself to work harder. It's about creating conditions where doing the right thing becomes easier and more sustainable. Let me tell you about David, a software engineer who tried the discipline through suffering approach. He forced himself to wake up at 5 a.m. despite being a natural night owl. He cut out all enjoyable foods. He worked 12-hour days without breaks. For 3 weeks, he felt like a discipline machine. Then he crashed hard. He slept until noon for a week straight, binged on junk food, and couldn't bring himself to work on anything meaningful. His rigid discipline had triggered an equally extreme rebellion. When David learned about balanced discipline, everything changed. Instead of forcing himself to wake up at 5 a.m., he gradually shifted his schedule 15 minutes earlier each week. Instead of eliminating all treats, he planned one small indulgence each day. Instead of working without breaks, he scheduled rest periods just as seriously as he scheduled work time. The result? David not only maintained his new habits for over 2 years, but he actually enjoyed the process. His discipline became sustainable because it included self-care as a core component, not an afterthought. The 80-20 discipline principle. 80% of the time, make choices that align with your long-term goals. 20% of the time, allow flexibility and enjoyment without guilt. This isn't permission to be lazy, it's recognition that humans aren't machines. We need rest, pleasure, and variety to function optimally. When you plan for these needs instead of fighting them, discipline becomes a sustainable lifestyle, rather than a temporary sprint. Recovery is part of the process, not a break from it. Just as athletes schedule rest days to prevent injury and improve performance, you need to schedule mental and emotional recovery to maintain psychological health. This means taking breaks without feeling guilty, enjoying treats without shame, saying no to commitments that drain your energy, adjusting your standards when you're going through difficult times. The strongest people aren't those who never rest. They're those who rest strategically so they can perform consistently over the long term. Action step. Identify one area where you've been too rigid in your approach to discipline. This week, experiment with adding more flexibility while maintaining your core commitment. For example, if you exercise every single day, try exercising 6 days with one planned rest day. Notice whether this actually improves your consistency and enjoyment. Mastering your internal dialogue. Every day, you have approximately 60,000 thoughts. Many of these thoughts happen automatically, without your conscious awareness. But among these thousands of thoughts, there's a particular type that has enormous power over your behavior, the thoughts you think about yourself and your capabilities. Most people are walking around with an internal critic that would make Gordon Ramsay seem gentle by comparison. This voice remembers every mistake, magnifies every flaw, and predicts failure in every challenge. You're not disciplined enough. You always start things but never finish them. Who are you kidding? You'll quit like you always do. Here's what's insidious about negative self-talk. It doesn't just describe your reality, it creates it. When you repeatedly tell yourself you're undisciplined, you start acting in ways that confirm that belief. You create what psychologists call a self-fulfilling prophecy. But the reverse is also true. When you learn to speak to yourself with the voice of a supportive coach rather than a harsh critic, your behavior begins to align with that more positive narrative. This isn't about positive thinking or lying to yourself. It's about replacing destructive self-talk with constructive self-direction. Instead of, I never follow through on anything, try, I'm building my follow-through skills one day at a time. Instead of, I'm so lazy, try, I'm learning to choose action over comfort. Instead of, I'll probably fail anyway, try, I'll give this my best effort and learn from whatever happens. The difference isn't just in how these statements feel, it's in what they make possible. Harsh self-criticism creates shame and paralysis. Constructive self-direction creates motivation and possibility. The voice replacement technique. Notice when your internal critic speaks. Pause instead of automatically believing what it says. Ask, is this thought helping me or hinting me? Replace destructive thoughts with constructive ones. Act based on the new, more helpful thought. This takes practice. You've probably been talking to yourself in certain ways for years or decades. Be patient with the process, but be consistent with the practice. Action step. For the next week, carry a small notebook or use your phone to track negative self-talk. Each time you catch yourself being unnecessarily harsh, write down what you said and then rewrite it in a more constructive way. Don't try to eliminate all challenging thoughts. Just replace the destructive ones with more helpful alternatives. The compound effect of small repetitions. Here's a question that reveals everything about how change really works. Would you rather have $1 million today or a penny that doubles every day for 30 days? Most people would take the $1 million, but they'd be making a costly mistake. That penny, doubling daily, would be worth over $5 million by day 30. This is the power of compound growth, and it applies to habits just as much as it applies to money. Small actions, repeated consistently, create massive results over time. But here's the challenge. For the first 20 days, that doubling penny looks pathetic compared to the $1 million. On day 10, it's worth about $5. On day 20, it's worth about $5,000. It's not until the final few days that the exponential growth becomes obvious. Habit change works exactly the same way. The results are invisible for weeks or even months. Then, seemingly overnight, everything changes. Most people quit during the invisible phase because they can't see the progress. They go to the gym for 2 weeks and wonder why they don't look like a fitness model. They eat healthy for a month and get frustrated that they haven't transformed their entire relationship with food. But the people who understand compound growth, they trust the process even when they can't see the results. They know that every repetition is building neural pathways, even when the external changes aren't visible yet. Consider the story of James, who decided to read for just 10 minutes every morning. For the first month, it felt insignificant. 10 minutes wasn't enough to finish anything substantial. He questioned whether it was worth the effort. But James understood compound growth. He trusted that consistency matters more than intensity. By the end of the year, those 10-minute sessions had added up to over 60 hours of reading, enough to complete 12 to 15 books. More importantly, reading had become automatic. He no longer had to force himself to pick up a book. His brain expected it. Want to exercise? Commit to putting on workout clothes every day. Want to write? Commit to writing one sentence every day. Want to meditate? Commit to taking 3 conscious breaths every day. Want to eat healthier? Commit to eating 1 piece of fruit every day. These habits seem almost absurdly small. That's the point. You're not trying to achieve dramatic results immediately. You're trying to wire a new pattern into your brain with the least possible resistance. Once the tiny habit becomes automatic, usually 2 to 6 weeks, you can gradually expand it, but the foundation, the daily repetition, remains constant. The most important rule of compound habits: never break the chain twice in a row. If you miss one day, get back on track immediately. Missing one day is human. Missing 2 days in a row is the beginning of a broken habit. Action step. Choose one small habit you want to build and commit to the smallest possible version for the next 30 days. Make it so easy that you'd feel silly not doing it. Track your daily completion on a calendar or app. Focus on consistency, not results. Strategic self-command. The way you speak to yourself in moments of challenge determines whether you rise to meet that challenge or shrink away from it. Most people use either harsh criticism, "You're pathetic, just do it," or weak encouragement. Maybe you could try to do this if you feel like it. Neither approach works well. Harsh criticism creates shame and resistance. Weak encouragement lacks the power to overcome resistance. What works is strategic self-command. Speaking to yourself with the clarity and authority of a trusted coach who believes in your capabilities but won't accept excuses. Instead of, "I should probably exercise," try, "I exercise now." Instead of, "I'll try to get up early," try, "I wake up at 6 a.m." Instead of, "Maybe I'll work on that project," try, "I complete one task immediately." Notice the difference. Strategic self-commands are specific. What exactly will you do? Immediate. When will you do it? Certain. No hedge words like try or maybe. This isn't about being rigid or unrealistic. It's about training your brain to expect action rather than negotiation. Your body and mind are more connected than most people realize. When you use physical commands, you activate both your mental and physical systems. Stand up now instead of "I should get up." Walk to the kitchen instead of "I need to eat something healthy." Open the laptop instead of "I should work on that project." Physical commands bypass the thinking mind and activate the doing mind. They're particularly useful when you're feeling overwhelmed or stuck. For moments when resistance feels overwhelming, have an emergency protocol ready. Stop what you're doing. Breathe deeply 3 times. Choose one tiny action you can take immediately. Command yourself clearly, "I specific action now." Move your body without further thought. This protocol interrupts the spiral of overthinking and gets you back into action mode. The goal isn't to become a drill sergeant with yourself. The goal is to develop the ability to give yourself clear, kind, but firm direction when your emotions are trying to lead you away from your commitments. Action step. Practice strategic self-command for one specific area this week. Choose an area where you typically use weak language. "I should," "I'll try," "maybe," and replace it with clear commands. "I will," "I do," "I complete." Notice how different it feels to speak to yourself with authority rather than uncertainty. Creating positive pressure. Pressure gets a bad reputation, but it's actually one of the most powerful tools for building discipline. The key is learning to create the right kind of pressure, the kind that motivates rather than overwhelms. Think about diamonds. They're created under intense pressure and heat deep within the earth. Without that pressure, carbon remains graphite, soft and easily broken. With the right amount of pressure applied over time, it becomes one of the hardest substances on earth. Your discipline works the same way. Too little pressure and you remain soft, easily bent by every impulse and distraction. The right amount of pressure applied consistently transforms you into someone strong and resilient. Here are the 3 types of positive pressure. 1. Time pressure, deadlines. Instead of saying, "I'll get this done eventually," create specific deadlines, but make them realistic and tied to something meaningful. Instead of, "I'll write a book someday," try, "I'll complete the first draft by December 31st because I want to enter the new year having accomplished this meaningful goal." 2. Social pressure, accountability. Tell people about your commitments, not to impress them, but to create external accountability. When someone asks, "How's that project going?" you feel natural pressure to have progress to report. Find an accountability partner who will check in with you weekly. Share your goals on social media. Join a group of people working towards similar objectives. 3. Financial pressure, skin in the game. Invest money in your goals. Buy the gym membership, hire the coach, register for the class. When you have financial investment, quitting costs money, which creates pressure to follow through. Spend 5 minutes each week visualizing 2 futures. Future A. What your life looks like if you continue with your current habits. Future B. What your life looks like if you successfully build the discipline you're working toward. Make both visions specific and emotional. What do you see, feel, and experience in each future? How do others respond to you? How do you feel about yourself? This creates emotional pressure by making the consequences of your choices feel real and immediate. And remember, even positive pressure needs outlets. Schedule specific times to relax without guilt. Have a weekly pressure-free activity you enjoy. Adjust your standards during especially stressful periods. Celebrate progress, not just outcomes. The goal is steady, sustainable pressure that motivates consistent action without creating burnout. Action step. Choose one area where you've been too comfortable and add one form of positive pressure this week. Either set a specific deadline, tell someone about your commitment, or invest money in the outcome. Notice how this changes your level of urgency and focus. Building resilience through chosen difficulty. Here's a paradox that most people never understand. The more you avoid discomfort, the more uncomfortable your life becomes. The more you seek comfort, the less resilient you become to life's inevitable challenges. But when you voluntarily choose difficulty, when you deliberately do hard things when you don't have to, you build what psychologists call stress inoculation. You become stronger, more confident, and more capable of handling whatever life throws at you. Think about vaccines. They work by introducing a small, controlled amount of a virus into your system. Your immune system learns to recognize and fight the threat, making you immune to the larger, more dangerous version. Chosen difficulty works as a psychological vaccine. When you voluntarily do hard things, you build mental antibodies that protect you when truly difficult situations arise. Examples of chosen difficulty. Taking cold showers when you could take hot ones. Walking when you could drive, cooking when you could order takeout. Having difficult conversations instead of avoiding them. Waking up early when you could sleep in. The key word is chosen. This isn't about punishing yourself or making life unnecessarily hard. It's about strategically building your tolerance for discomfort. Consider the story of Rachel, a marketing executive who felt overwhelmed by her demanding job. Every challenge at work felt like a crisis. Every difficult conversation felt traumatic. She was constantly stressed and considering quitting. Then Rachel learned about chosen difficulty. She started small, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, having one difficult conversation per week instead of avoiding them, waking up 30 minutes earlier to exercise before work. These small acts of voluntary discomfort began building her confidence. She realized that if she could choose to do hard things, she could handle hard things when they were imposed on her. Within 6 months, work stress that used to overwhelm her now felt manageable. This is the comfort zone expansion exercise. Once per week, do something that makes you slightly uncomfortable but isn't harmful. Speak up in a meeting when you normally wouldn't. Start a conversation with a stranger. Try a physical activity that challenges you. Express an opinion you normally keep to yourself. Ask for something you want but are afraid to request. The goal isn't to become someone who seeks out suffering. The goal is to become someone who isn't controlled by the need for comfort. Important distinction. Chosen difficulty should be challenging but not overwhelming. You're building strength, not breaking yourself down. Start small and gradually increase the challenge as your tolerance builds. When you regularly choose difficulty, something remarkable happens. Your relationship with discomfort changes. Instead of seeing discomfort as something to be avoided at all costs, you begin to see it as information, as feedback, as a sign that you're growing. Action step. This week, choose one small difficulty each day. Nothing dangerous or harmful, just something slightly uncomfortable that you normally avoid. Notice how your confidence grows as you prove to yourself that you can handle more than you thought. Overcoming impulses with future focus. Every day, you face dozens of small choices between immediate pleasure and long-term benefit. Should you scroll social media or read a book? Should you eat the donut or have the apple? Should you stay up late watching Netflix or go to bed early? These choices seem small in the moment, but they're actually the building blocks of your entire life. The quality of your future is determined by how well you handle these moment-to-moment impulses. In the famous Stanford marshmallow experiment, children who could resist eating one marshmallow to get 2 marshmallows later showed better life outcomes decades later, higher SAT scores, lower obesity rates, better relationships. But here's what's crucial. The children who succeeded weren't just exercising willpower, they were using specific strategies to manage their impulses. Strategy 1. The future self-visualization. When you feel an impulse to choose immediate pleasure over long-term benefit, pause and ask, how will I feel about this choice in 1 hour, 1 day, 1 year? Most impulses offer pleasure that lasts minutes, but create consequences that last much longer. When you extend your time horizon, the right choice often becomes obvious. Strategy 2. The 2-path technique. Visualize 2 versions of yourself 1 year from now. Version A. The person you become if you consistently give in to impulses. Version B. The person you become if you consistently choose long-term benefit. Make these visions specific and emotional. What does each version look like? How do they feel about themselves? What opportunities are available to each? This creates emotional weight that can overcome the pull of immediate gratification. Strategy 3. The replacement habit. Instead of trying to eliminate impulses through willpower alone, replace them with healthier alternatives. Feel the urge to scroll social media, open a book or podcast instead. Want to eat junk food? Drink a glass of water first. Tempted to stay up late? Go to your bedroom and do gentle stretches. The goal isn't to eliminate all pleasure, but to redirect impulses toward choices that serve your long-term goals. Strategy 4. The 10-10-10 rule. Before acting on an impulse, ask yourself, how will I feel about this choice in 10 minutes? How will I feel about this choice in 10 months? How will I feel about this choice in 10 years? This simple framework helps you see beyond the immediate moment and consider the full consequences of your actions. For 1 week, track your impulses without trying to change them. Notice what triggers them: stress, boredom, specific situations. What time of day they're strongest. Which ones you resist and which ones you follow. This awareness alone will begin to weaken their power over you. You can't change what you don't notice. Remember, the goal isn't to become a robot who never enjoys immediate pleasures. The goal is to become someone who chooses those pleasures consciously rather than compulsively, and who can delay gratification when it serves your larger purposes. Action step. Choose one recurring impulse you'd like to manage better. For the next week, use the future self-visualization technique every time that impulse arises. Before acting, ask yourself how you'll feel about the choice in 1 hour and 1 day. Notice how this changes your decision-making. Focused energy allocation. In our hyper-connected world, the scarcest resource isn't time or money, it's focused attention. Every notification, every interruption, every random thought pulls your mental energy in different directions. By the end of the day, you feel exhausted but can't point to meaningful progress. This is the modern epidemic. Busy but not productive, active but not effective. The solution isn't working harder or longer, it's learning to direct your energy with laser precision toward the activities that create the most meaningful results. The 80-20 principle applied to discipline. In any area of life, roughly 20% of your activities produce 80% of your results. The same principle applies to discipline. 20% of your habits produce 80% of your progress. 20% of your daily actions create 80% of your satisfaction. 20% of your time investments generate 80% of your growth. The key is identifying your high-impact 20% and protecting that time and energy ruthlessly. For 1 week, track how you spend your energy across these categories: creation, writing, building, designing, planning; connection, meaningful conversations, relationship building; consumption, reading, learning, entertainment; maintenance, emails, household tasks, routine activities; reaction, responding to interruptions, putting out fires. Most people spend 70% of their energy on maintenance and reaction, leaving little for creation and growth. Disciplined people flip this ratio. Each morning, identify the 3 most important tasks that will move your life forward. These aren't necessarily the most urgent tasks, they're the most impactful ones. Complete these 3 tasks before doing anything else. No emails, no social media, no busy work, just focused effort on what matters most. This simple practice ensures that even if the rest of your day gets derailed, you've made meaningful progress on your priorities. Let's take a look at this energy protection strategies. Batch similar activities. Check email twice daily, not throughout the day. Create no templates for common requests that don't align with your priorities. Use the phone in another room rule during focused work. Schedule your peak energy hours for your most important work. Set boundaries around your time without guilt or over-explanation. Before saying yes to any request, opportunity, or activity, ask, is this the best use of my energy to achieve my most important goals? If the answer isn't a clear yes, it's a no. This isn't about becoming selfish or antisocial, it's about becoming intentional. When you protect your energy for what matters most, you actually have more to give to the people and causes you care about. The focus ritual. Develop a 5-minute ritual that signals to your brain it's time for focused work. Clear your workspace, turn off notifications, take 3 deep breaths. Review your intention for this work session. Begin with the most challenging task. This ritual creates a mental boundary between scattered mode and focused mode. Action step. For the next week, implement the Big 3 methodology. Each morning, identify your 3 most important tasks and complete them before checking email or social media. Track how this changes both your productivity and your sense of accomplishment. Building your disciplined identity. The deepest level of change happens not when you change what you do, but when you change who you believe you are. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. When you go to the gym, you're voting to be someone who is fit. When you read instead of watching TV, you're voting to be someone who is educated. When you choose the difficult conversation over avoidance, you're voting to be someone who is courageous. The identity-based discipline approach focuses on becoming rather than achieving. Instead of, I want to lose 20 pounds, outcome-based, try, I am becoming someone who makes healthy choices, identity-based. Instead of, I want to write a book, outcome-based, try, I am becoming someone who writes consistently, identity-based. The two-step identity change process. Decide the type of person you want to be. Prove it to yourself with small wins. Every time you act in alignment with your desired identity, you strengthen that identity. Every time you act against it, you weaken it. Before making any decision, ask yourself, what would a disciplined person do in this situation? What would someone who has their life together choose here? How would the person I want to become handle this moment? Then act accordingly, not because you are that person yet, but because you are becoming that person. The evidence collection method. Keep a daily record of evidence that supports your new identity. Evidence: I am becoming disciplined. I woke up on time despite feeling tired. Evidence: I am becoming healthy. I chose water over soda at lunch. Evidence: I am becoming focused. I worked for 90 minutes without checking my phone. This isn't about being perfect. It's about noticing and celebrating the moments when you act in alignment with who you're becoming. Handling identity challenges. When you slip up, and you will, avoid language that reinforces a negative identity. Instead of, I'm so undisciplined, I always mess up. Try, that choice didn't align with who I'm becoming. What can I learn from this? The goal is to see mistakes as feedback rather than evidence of fundamental character flaws. Surround yourself with people who reflect your desired identity. Join groups of people who embody the discipline you want to develop. Their standards and behaviors will gradually become your standards and behaviors. This doesn't mean abandoning old friends, but it does mean being intentional about who influences your thinking and behavior patterns. Action step. Define the type of person you want to become in one clear sentence. I am becoming someone who. For the next 30 days, ask yourself the identity question before making important decisions, and keep a daily record of evidence that supports this new identity. Your balanced beginning. As we reach the end of this journey together, I want you to understand something crucial. Building discipline is not about perfection. It's not about never making mistakes or never feeling like giving up. It's about creating a sustainable system that allows you to grow consistently while maintaining your humanity. You are not a machine that needs to be programmed for maximum output. You are a human being with needs, emotions, and limitations that deserve respect and compassion. The path forward isn't about forcing yourself into an impossible standard of perfection. It's about building a relationship with discipline that feels supportive rather than punitive, challenging rather than overwhelming, sustainable rather than extreme. Remember, every person who has built lasting discipline started exactly where you are now, with imperfection, uncertainty, and the simple desire to become better. The journey begins with one small choice. Put down your phone for the next hour and do one thing that matters to you. Write one paragraph, take one walk, make one healthy meal, have one important conversation, clean one small area, learn one new thing. Not because you feel motivated, not because conditions are perfect, not because you have a complete plan. Simply because you are choosing to become someone who acts with intention rather than impulse. Your transformation starts now, not tomorrow. Not when you feel ready, not when life gets easier. Right now, with whatever you have, wherever you are, however you feel. Take the first step. Replace one negotiation with action. Use the 3-2-1 method once. Speak to yourself with kindness, but firmness. Choose difficulty over comfort in one small way. Focus your energy on what truly matters for just 1 hour. One step, one choice. One moment of deciding that your future self deserves better than your past patterns. Your disciplined life is waiting, but it will only come to those who stop waiting for it and start building it, one balanced choice at a time. The time for excuses is over. The time for sustainable action begins now. Welcome to your balanced beginning.